Like every circle, actually. You see it online all the time, too. People boasting about 100% or whatever. You know what matters to me is not the big wins, it's the small losses. You minimize the amount of loss you can take when you take a loss, you're a winner. That's the key that's one of the keys to becoming consistently profitable in the Forex. Minimize your losses. If you can do that, you're golden. I like that bounce on the 5-minute chart there.
And actually,
That's good.
when I thought I closed my trade, actually, what I did was I took my stop out. I like my stop a little bit further down below, and actually, I set it for a 10 pip stop now. Just getting a little bit more room to get to the bottom of the wedge. I still don't expect it to get down that low, and I'll be out of it before. I'll close this trade out before that happens. But I do like the fact it's bouncing off of this purple line right here. And if I look at my, we are getting a lot of consolidation right here. And so that's pretty much a non-event. And if we look over here for our Hall moving averages, right now it's showing that the 1 minute, the 5 are both red, and the 15 is still green. But we're just gonna, if this all turns green, or all turns red rather, then we may have to reconsider our position on this.
Yeah,
I just think that this may have just been a head fake.
Yeah, if the 15-minute hull turns to red, we're in trouble. Because what that is, I think it, why did mine, no, forget it. Anyway, I thought I saw something else. But yeah, no, 15-minute hull turns red, like I'm out of that trade. I am not taking a trade against the 15-minute hull. Not with wedges. Oh, and there we go.
See that see how that respect to this little blue line right here?
Look at that blue line.
That's one of our tools that we often talk about. You can see that here's the blue line up here. Here's the blue line right down there, and came right to it and then rejected. Came right to it and then rejected. So right now it's trading specifically in a 21 pip range right now.
Yeah, but Al, the technical analysis doesn't work. Everyone says, oh, it's just luck. You guys are gambling. There's whatever. It's a bunch of hogwash. You guys having these tools and technical analysis and making profit. You know, you hear people use that as a cop-out.
I'll take these cop-outs anytime because they work very well.
Exactly. But yeah,
like I said, here's the top of your wedge. I mean, it did break through. It came into the, but you're only looking at 94 to 90. You're only looking at a 2 pip range here. It just penetrated back into the wedge 2 pips. That's all.
That's minute. That's nothing. That's not even your spread if you have a good broker.
And your spread is right now is that it's 2 pip spread.
Right. Inconsequential.
You have to give it room to breathe. Ideally, I like to have my stop on the other side of the wedge. I can't always get it that way, but for the most part, I can generally close the trade out before it gets down there to take my full stop.
That blue line was my key. That was the one. If it still comes down there and rejects it, I mean, if it goes through that line, I'm out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's where I put my line in the sand before. It's still less than 7 pips. Just looking at past history where that line was drawn, where that blue was sitting, told me that was a key area price. 106.95 is probably the number we're really looking at.
And the interesting part is you see that in our entry zone, this green line is right in the middle. And I said, these lines are 7 pips apart. So all it did was it came up, retested the green line. It's been having a battle over the green, came back down, checked the blue, coming up. Now it's coming up to retest the green. If we can get a nice close above the green, we may get it. This may just have been a strong pullback. But it went 21 pips from up here. It went all the way down here. It was 21 pip move.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We got to keep in mind that whatever's happening at a macro level, at a higher level time frame, if it's a bigger move at a higher time frame, it's going to have a major impact on the 1 minute chart and 2 minute chart. So it could come back and do a much bigger retracement than we expected. But that means that there is the potential for it to be a much bigger move than what we expected. Generally, there's a correlation between the pullback and the move out of there. It's like a slingshot.
I'm going to view this as a very significant pullback right to that. This is an energy point. We have a Fibonacci line. You also have a trend line. So I'm going to put this trend line from my D all the way to that. And I'm going to allow that to be my pretty much my deciding factor of right now, the fact that that was that pullback. Now I'm going to be looking for my target still, but I'm also going to be looking to see if it's going to be ranging inside of a channel. And I do like the idea of, let me take this one off.
So watch this pullback. You're going to have it, I believe it might hit that 62 moving average, the white one. It's going to tag it and potentially move out of there because the 15 minute, the 1 minute Hull moving average flipped in our favor. I don't know if I mentioned this. My brain could be just failing, but why we like the Hull moving average is because we get over 70% of the move from the origination of the move to the other before it flips on that time frame. So that may be a lot to explain, but the Hull moving average is a really good exit mechanism. You can put an alert on the Hull moving average once it flips, where once it flips from red to green, you get an alert on your phone. That's why I like TradingView, and that's why I don't mind paying for TradingView, and I don't mind telling people about TradingView because you know what? Your time is really valuable. And for me, if I want to build a house, I'm not going to go buy my tools at dollar store. I'm going to go to Home Depot. I'm going to buy the tools that I need, that I don't need to go buy new tools again. I want quality, and I don't mind paying for quality because it's going to make my job faster and more efficient. Just like in the Forex, my time is very valuable. Your time is very valuable. Do you want to sit and use lackluster tools or not the proper tools to maximize your profit potential when you're actually trading? Because you probably don't want to sit on the charts all day, unless you're, I don't know. Anyway, you might be a little bit crazy. Some of us are, but I don't want to spend all day on the charts. But if we have the right tools and we don't mind investing in the right tools like TradingView, like Airis, like RCS, and some of those other things, then it's not. It's never a waste.
Bringing that question up, Kirk asked a question. Using the free version of TradingView, what are the 3 indicators we should use, in y'all's opinion? I'm going to hold my opinion.
Yeah. All right. So
go ahead, Mag. No, you take that one.
All right. So because free version of TradingView only allows you to have one chart up at a time, I use Pro Plus, okay? And I'll tell you how to get it for a significant discount at a later time. Keep on watching the trade, Al, if you see something.
Yeah, I'm watching it here.
Okay. So anyway, if you want to know how to get a significant discount on TradingView, like half price for the year, just let me know. Anyway, but the 3 indicators that I would use if I was a free member, I would actually use one RSI. Okay. I would use the whole moving average, and I would use the 62 exponential moving average is the 3 that I would use. Now, the whole moving average, there are multiple versions of the whole moving average in the free library with TradingView. TradingView has a ton of tools. Ooh, that's a big candle. Anyway, yeah. So there's 62 exponential moving average. One of the Hull moving averages, whatever one you want to choose. Don't get lost in all of those indicators that are available. Okay, there's probably like a couple thousand in the library, but we do have something in the works, and we're waiting for things to develop. We're in conversations with some people so that we can find a way to bring those tools in house so that people can have access to it. But that's
we have a software developer that has basically combined several of the indicators into one. For example, this MMA, which is basically, it's one indicator, but when I turn it on, it has basically 4 exponential moving averages built into it. That would be one indicator. Anyway, so we're working with the developer to figure out how we can make that available to everybody. And it's hopefully we'll have an answer by the end of this week. Things just take a little bit longer sometimes. That's one thing. The other one is that the MSR, basically this one down here, where it has the whole moving averages, and it has the 2 RSIs. That would be indicator number 2. And then the third one, which I'm trying to make available, is this RCS tool, and that would be your third one. So that would give you basically your 3 indicators with your free version, with your RCS, your MRSI, which is your multiple RSI, and your multiple moving averages. Those 3 alone would allow you to operate a free version of TradingView with one set of indicators. And we're looking at trying to get these to be affordable to make it worth your while to combine those like we did. Hopefully that answers your question.
Oh, I lost the chat pane. Let me see here.
And right now we're still following this trend. It's still been there hasn't been a lot of movement to it yet. And this is one reason this is just very typical for this time of the day, that it has a nice strong move up and then just sort of meanders about, and then later on, like we're getting it right now at 10:30. We may actually even start getting some more alerts. The alerts come on usually on the 15 minutes, quarter, half hour, and the top of the hour. So we'll see if we get another alert. But right now, this thing may not really break out until later on this evening with any degree of significance. And this is one reason why I oftentimes don't take trades, because I don't want to be sitting up all night. Or I just need to put an entry, put a stop, and just go to bed. And when you wake up, hopefully it moved in your right direction. But you can see, like from 8:30, it hasn't really moved from 8:30 this evening. It really hasn't. In the last hour and 46 minutes, it only moved 11 pips, 12 pips. That's not a lot of movement, not a lot of volatility. This trade is in demo, by the way, just because I don't generally trade this time of night. Plus, I already got my target for the day. While we're waiting on this, right now it's still in our zone. I'll put another alert on here just to be just in case it comes back down again, or I'll put alert up here as well. And we'll go on to what we were doing with the British US on this replay. So basically, we drew the wedge. We have everything lined up, and we're going to start the replay on this. I'm going to put my trend line on the bottom. I'm going to move it down 2 pips. This is 57, 77, 75, right about there is about 2 pips. And we're going to mark this as our entry to sell. I'm going to take our trend line, move it up here. Take our 2 pips, 59 to 61. No, that's all right. 93 to 95, that's where it is right there. We're on a 15-minute chart. I'm going to knock this down to a 5-minute chart to make sure all my are as tight as I can. Move it to a 1-minute chart. I'm going to spread this out. I'm going to do this in the replay mode. You can see I had one little hit here, and then all the way over here to where my A was. It only goes back so far in the replay. That's why that is. This is close enough. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and spread this out, and we'll replay this candle by candle. I'll look down here and see where my strength meter is. Right now it's showing that the dollar is strong by 5 spread. That's good. If it breaks the wedge, which it looks like it just did, I have a red candle, it's closed. Now I want to see, I want to try and get into this, make my entry into this zone, but I want to make sure that I get enough strength to come in. I'd like to see a red candle followed by a blue wick or a blue candle, and then I'll try and enter the trade. So as we watch this next candle develop, there's a blue, it went right back up, and it came right back and closed right on the wedge. I'm gonna give it one more candle. Another blue candle. I'm still looking for a red candle. I want to enter on a red candle. Right there, I would enter. Let's say we enter here. My spread would probably get me in right about in that area. Go for my set up for my 7 pips. Yep, that's all right. We want 7. 7. I guess it is right. That doesn't look right to me. That's not right. I'm not going to use that tool.
Put 70.
Is 70, is that what it is? Is that what the problem is?
Yeah.
I knew that wasn't right. Let's try 70 here.
Because that's actually 3.3 pips there. Now you're doing 7.0 pip.
There we go. That looks better.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you there, Brian. So if I get in here, I'm going to move this down about 2 pips. Because the spread's going to, now that's about where my fill is going to be. And we go, so we would be in this trade right on this candle. My fill would be down here someplace. And we play it. You can see where it's just going back into the wedge, coming back out, back into the wedge, coming back out, but it's still within my zone. Here's the bottom of my zone. Now it's starting to make some commitment to the downside. And there's our target. And we're done with it, and we're out of the trade. And that's how it's done over and over and over again. Now it may come back up and retest the zone, which it just did, came back up and to retest this area. It would give us an opportunity to maybe take another entry on it. Right now the British pound is strong, so I don't want to enter with that. I'll wait and see if I can get this US, see if I can get this to where the US is flipped back over with the 3-point spread again. Here's my US. Just flip back over. I have a 1-point spread. Let's see if we can get 3. British is back up again. US is back on top with a 2-point spread. US is on top with a 3-point spread. You could take another entry coming in.
Up though.
What's that?
That wick?
Yeah, well, that huge wick up. That huge wick up, rejected it, came back into the wedge, and now it's coming back down. So we could take another entry. Just we try to take another entry. See what we can do with this. Go with 70. 70.
And you may have been able to catch that just a tad bit earlier based on that.
Yeah. I was just basically looking at the. I was basically just looking at this area right here. But let's just say for all practical purposes, say we get filled right in this area.
Today, or pound news tonight. That theirs wouldn't be at this time.
I don't think there is. Yeah.
No, there wouldn't be. It's too late. They're all sleeping.
Another big wick up. And boom, there's your second target right there. So that could have been 2 possibly good trades, all basically using our indicators. And that's the way it's done. Any questions so far tonight?
Chat box is still, or the question answers is wide open, so there's no questions posted yet.
Let's see, our British trade, our U.S. Swiss trade still sitting there waiting and lollygagging. We may not get anything moving until after midnight tonight. Good chance with that one.
I moved my stop up a little bit, and I'm going to let it run for the night.
I actually just got out. I just put a take profit a little bit higher than my entry, just so I could get out of it. So it's just, I'll go to bed knowing that everything's in my control.
I'm going to take this off and see where our British pound is right now. Oh, this one kind of froze on me there. I'll just leave that one. And I'm accidentally erased my Euro US yen trade. Trade's still on, but the yen is. And actually, you can see we're actually having it's building another little wedge right in here. Now this isn't a wedge alert, but you can see where you have a pivot high, you have a pivot low, lower high, higher low. You can align these all together with that, just to give a. Actually, I like have it over here. It's a little bit better.
Oh, I thought that was a 15-minute chart. I said that's like a
No,
daily wedge.
you're
1 minute.
No wonder it's being so hard to draw here.
Yeah,
I'm on my 1 minute.
No, I was looking at that.
I can tell it's getting late tonight.
Yep, I think I took the. What did I do? It was really silly. Oh,
let me draw this back over here.
When you were doing your analysis and you were doing the replay. Yeah, I kind of took a trade in the same direction of the replay. So That did work out in my favor. It's fine, but don't. It just shows. Sometimes you need to know when to put the toys down, and right now it's a little late for me. It's been a really long day.
8:45 descending. 8:45 descending. 8:45. Again, we're going to draw this again. It was at 8:45, which is right there. 15-minute chart. It was a descending wedge. I kind of like starting it up. I want it to be descending from a pivot high to as close as I can get to where the wedge alert was, which would have been this blue candle right here. So I'm going to start my A here. I'll bring this down to about there. Bring this up there and then flatten it out with that. And I'm going to bring this as close to the, I'm pretty much going to make this pretty much just slightly descending. It's descending. Here is the break on this Japanese yen. So that's pretty much where the break, this is where we're playing around with it right now. We can tweak it on the 1 minute. So I'm going to bring this over here close to the D. I'm going to bring this over close to where that point was. Here's where the breaks were. Here's where the target was. And now we're back into the area of the wedge. If I make this wedge a little bit thicker, you'll be able to see it. Maybe I can make this a little thicker for you. And then I can draw my entry zones.
That's another alert.
We just got an alert. Well, let's draw that one. US Swiss 1045. That's the one we've been playing around with. And it is a ascending at 1045. It's the same one we've been looking at. Ascending. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to take all these off for right now. And I'm going to find 1045. Take this one off. Clean this up as much as we can here. Here's 1045. Ascending, so it's going from low to high, which is pretty much where we had that one anchor. To high, here's my C, and then we're going to flatten this out to the top. I'm going to bring it down to about like that. Let me go to a 1 minute chart. We're going to fine tune this. Here's my B. Here's a little hit. Here's my trend. Here's my hit. It's just a small little wick. That's at 54 to, that's not even a full pip. So I accept that as a valid violation of the trend. And so here we are. I'll put this back to a 15-minute chart, come back over here to my 1 minute chart. I'm going to take this off since we're not in anything right now. I'm going to take this off. These are still some valid targets up here. Close those lines out, make things a little bit cleaner for us. And you can see how this A and the C are still valid. And now we wait. Right now it's showing that the US is slightly stronger on the 1 minute. We have slightly stronger on the 5 minute. Let me put this back on to the symbols only. Give it a chance to propagate a little bit. And we're going to take our 1 minute chart and we're going to draw our parallels to our wedge line. $53 to $55, right about, oops, and grab it. Trying to find this. There we go. Try to grab it from here. 53.5 to 55.5. Right about to there. And we're going to make this our entry to buy. And this should only be about 2 pips. From here to here is 2 pips. It looks a lot bigger than you think it is. And then we'll do the same thing on the bottom. Flatten it out, move it 2 pips, 48. And this is our zones for, we want to see it break these zones before we want to get into this zone to sell to enter. Right now it looks like it's breaking to the upside. Dollar is strong by 3. This could be a valid entry. See how it is on the other time frames. We got 2 spread, we have a 2 spread, we have a 3 spread. Again, we're still looking at the 1 minute chart. We're looking for a blue candle. And I want to see a blue candle followed by a red candle to retest the top of the wedge before I enter the trade. Any place in this zone, I'm okay to take the trade, and my target will be 7 pips above. I check my Fibonacci lines. And here's the, these are only 7 pips apart. From this red line to the blue line, that's 7 pips. We're right in the middle of that range. So I'd like to see it break this blue. I see it come up real strong and break that blue before it comes back in. This is going to be a significant line right there. And if it breaks, if it can break this area here, the question is, do we have enough room till we get up to these resistance zones? It might be marginal. That's only 4 pips, so we need to get all the way up to here before we get our 7 pip target. That's a long way to go. You're going to run into some problem up in this area right in here. So again, I would hesitate to take this trade just because of the upward range that we have available to us. We have about 8 minutes left. Are there any questions from anybody? If not, we could probably wrap this up a little bit earlier.
The chat room is clean. There's nothing in the chat room or on the Q&A.
I said this is not a trade I would take. There just isn't enough room till we get up into this area before it would probably get a bounce. I'd like to see at least 7 pips or more, no less than 7 pips to a target range. And I said right now with this one, even with that blue candle right there, you'd have to get all the way up to this area before. And if you look at a higher time frame chart, look at your 15-minute chart. There's nothing anywhere close over here. That's you have to go all the way to a higher time frame to find an area that's going to be, that would, if this, you'd have to break through this, and then the next area would be right here. And that would be doable. Ugh.
Personally, I'd love to start seeing some dollar strength across the board for a little extended period of time. We've been in the doldrums for a while.
Yeah, that would be really nice. I've got a trade that I held on to that I'd like the dollar to move in my favor.
And right now, the dollar is the strongest of all the pairs on the 15-minute chart, which is a good sign. Here's our red pullback, red candle pullback. If this thing can close with a blue candle before it breaks and penetrates the wedge, that would be an entry.
You know, if I could say this, if a person is hesitant to enter a trade, it really boils down to that they don't have a volume of trades in what they're trading, because they need to know the odds of them winning. You're playing the odds. We're not gambling. We're using high probability, but we need to put the it's gonna sound weird, but put the money on the table in order to win. You know, you can't win without playing the game.
That's exactly right.
And when you know your odds, then you can keep on playing the game, even when things don't go your way.
And you can see where this 2-pip spread, eventually 1.8 spread, is that I actually clicked the button to enter the trade. This is a demo trade just to show you how this works. I hit it right when this blue candle, when this red candle came up and this thing turned blue. I clicked the button right about here, but here's where I got filled. So now my target's going to be 7 pips above up here.
You actually marked it for 14.
Yeah, so my 7 pips is actually going to be, yeah, I usually do that too, just in case it goes and runs away. If I were to leave this overnight, I would have that set for 14 with 7 pip stop, and I'd walk away and say, well, either make my target or I don't. Or I'd leave it for like a 6.8, or I'd make that 7 and say, okay, either make my target or I don't. This time of night, if I were to take a trade like that, and that's what I'll do, I'll just leave this like that.
And we can visit in the morning again.
And then we can look and see how we did in the morning. Wake up, either made 7 pips or I got stopped out 7 pips, or it's still hanging around in the middle. So on that note, I think I'm done for the evening, unless we have some questions.
No questions in the chat box or the Q&A area. All right,
I think we're good, my friends.
Okay.
It's been a good long day.
It's been a long day. I got an early morning. We have early morning at, I'll be here probably by no later than 7:30 to get things set up for tomorrow. We will see everybody here at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning if you're still awake and wanting to join us.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you, guys. See you guys later.
Hope you learned something tonight. All right. Good night.
All right. God bless, guys.
Bye.